Now that you've leveled up, what better time to feast?
Wait, is that Dawn?
It sure as hell
What?
is.
What?
Sorry, Dawn. You're back because of us, right?
You do like to party.
Oh shit! Let's go!
Joining forces with your worst enemy just to take me down? You can't kill a god!
Woo!
Watch this, Lise. You can actually pinpoint the second when his heart rips in half. And now. Oh.
Okay, that's kind of dumb. Star Wars? Really? Maybe it's cool. Wait, what? What? Did they just pull the same fucking like Force Awakens type shit? Oh my god, he straight up looked like Han Solo on that one. So here's what I'll say about the review. I'll give my review for this. This was definitely the best episode of the season, which is not saying much. Because the only reason this even had a hint of excitement or being psyched is because they stuck to the things that have worked in the past. The old school music of the CW. The old school music of the Flash. Okay. Giving a strong intro, giving some sort of necessity that somebody's in dire need of help or something like that, or there's something that's going wrong, like the city is in danger, somebody's in danger, we need to be fast enough, we need to be strong enough, this isn't gonna work, there's actually goddamn danger for the first time this season. Like, you can feel that the stakes are raised, right? That intro, boom. Then they screw it all up with the pep talks and all that other stuff that they've been doing way too much, right? Then they brought back Reverse Flash. That was good. That was the first time in a few years, honestly. That was the first time in a few years that I actually got hyped about a moment in the show. Just to see Eobard Thawne come back. They kind of spoiled it a little bit where you saw Reverse Flash's name on the computer like that, where it kind of would have been cool to just kind of do like a pan up or something like that, right? It is what it is, but it's fine. It was still like, wait, what? Now, what, honestly, and I understand contractually this is kind of a big problem, but I wish they could bring back Matt instead. Like, I really kind of would prefer this situation. But I also understand that it's kind of like, all right, they got Tom on payroll, and it's like, look, let's get him to come in like that, So I get that, but I just think canon-wise, it would be better if it was Matt doing those scenes and everything, because it's like, for me personally, I think I've seen way more of Tom than I really need to at this point as Eobard. It kind of ruins it all, especially given the fact that I've seen Tom so much as other versions of Wells, Nash Wells, HR, all of that, that it's really it's hard to take him seriously as Reverse Flash anymore, because it's just not as credible. It's the same thing with them using the actress to play Speed Force, Nora. It takes away from the magic of the first seasons, and when you start seeing her playing different versions of Nora or the Speed Force or whatever, it's kind of just like, it's just not even special anymore. Which is the same reason it doesn't have any meaning to me that apparently Jay and Impulse have some sort of mentoring relationship, but it just doesn't mean much because it's overused. Anyways, but it was a really hype moment to see that with and then the fact that we were finally gonna, like, for one moment I was like, holy shit, finally they're going back to what people want to see, and that's speedsters, making it about the speedsters and the Flash, right? I'm like, that is pretty dope. Look, like, that's almost similar. It reminds me of almost like a Goku and Frieza working together to fight Jiren at the end, right? Of Dragon Ball Super, right? But then they kind of screwed it up with the whole Star Wars thing. I love the idea that Godspeed was fast enough that he could use like a lightning rod, right? That was fucking dope, because we've seen Zoom. We've only seen one other person do that before, and that was Zoom. He like literally grabbed lightning and threw it back, and I like, when that happened, I was like, that would have been dope if Godspeed had this lightning rod and could wave it around just like a stick. But the fact that suddenly the Flash and Reverse could do it was kind of it killed the scene completely for me. It completely killed the scene for me. Now, if Godspeed could essentially just throw lightning bolts or something like that, that might have been kind of cool or whatever, right? But I don't. It just was just it something became kind of corny after that when they just both of them too. Like somebody was watching The Last Jedi way too hard, man. Way too hard, because I swear there was some choreography that was legit out of The Last Jedi. Even how one of the dudes how August got stabbed. I think there's a scene in The Last Jedi where somebody gets shanked the same way. But the whole thing was, what I was gonna say was, to make that scene a little bit better, you know, Speed Force blocking or something. Like I said it during the reaction, and I guess this will be for the review. The thing that Captain America, the shield, the kind of hand shield that Captain America had or something like that, if the Flash did something along that line of like, instead of, he could just block, repel, punch like that to try to get some shots in. And then with Reverse Flash, well, obviously, you know, he's got this shit. So almost the same thing where, you know, maybe, I don't know. I'm just throwing things in the air here where it's kind of like his movements are fast enough to, I don't know, whatever. But the fact that it turned into a lightsaber fight, a force saber fight, was so ridiculously goofy, because that was so unlike anything we speedsters do, to go from being, you know, their whole thing is like that, right, to go to that was embarrassing. That was terrible. But again, it's fine if Godspeed was doing it and he was like essentially the Darth Maul doing that shit, right? And every time he spins it around, it's just like a white blur to strike solid. That would have been pretty fucking dope, honestly. And I think easy enough to animate as well. But anyways. So that kind of killed the moment for me because I was so hyped at that moment that we were gonna have three of the legacy speedsters and new legacy. To have 3 of the speedsters like that duking it out, like, oh my god, I just thought it was gonna be so fucking dope. Doing the whole bumper car thing, slowing down the way, you know, sometimes when they're running fast and then they just slow down and, you know, one misses, the other one comes in and punches the other one, like very Captain America Civil War, like that, when Iron Man is fighting Bucky and Captain America, like that. Like, I just thought that was what we were about to get into. That's the kind of classic fight scene we were about to see, are like Goku and Frieza teaming up against Jiren, like that, right? But anyways, I digress. And then, but that was it. Those were the 2 big things. I'll give them a little bit for the team up situation. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. The Crisis on X fight was pretty dope. And then what I'll give them a little bit for that mid fight where they all lined up like that. It had promise of being a cool execution, but yeah. Had it been handled a little differently, maybe it would have been cooler. But you know, I guess it was all right. I guess that scene was exactly what people were kind of expecting. Civil War, the airport, the way people describe the Civil War airport scene in the daytime like that is of like how lame it could have been, is what we ended up getting in that daytime fight scene. So you know, you can see there's a big difference between, and I'm not just saying budget, I'm just talking about the choreography and all of that, you know. So, you know, they did their best, I think, with what they could, given the limitations of how much they can animate and, you know, how many of the characters are going to get some sort of moment. It was cool to see Impulse with his ninja star flash things, and Jessica XS with her purple lasso. That was dope. I you know, but it's all good, man. Like, am I applying to be a writer for the show? I think it goes further than just being like writing this. I'm sure they're coming up with good ideas, but I also think there's also kind of a constraint situation. There's a constraint of time, how much they can actually animate. There was actually a dispute with the CG writers and the CG people and the workers union, and I think the WB or something like that. So there was a huge dispute, and that's one of the reasons apparently that the CG has kind of regressed in some of these shows, because there's been a lot of trade disputes and or union disputes, and you know, of course, the pandemic. So not everybody can actually. Some people are like working on this shit from their house now. So I get it with some of that. But yeah, so I guess the main thing is I really enjoyed the show for. I enjoyed the episode for the moments that reminded me of why I loved the show. But the problem is, that was only about 40, that's being gracious, 30 to 40% of the episode. The rest was basically all the garbage that has been destroying this show slowly, and then, of course, for some reason, they renewed their vows like last minute and shit. Like, wait, what? So wait, what happened to the whole angle of Iris being like them trying to have a baby? Like, what happened to? So wait, that's gonna carry on into next season, I guess, because wasn't there? weren't they doing a whole thing about like, I'm tired of waiting, let's fuck? And they were like just fucking everywhere like rabbits and everything. Cecile has a daughter? Wait, what? So wait, Barry's been shooting out blanks this whole time? And so, see, that in itself would have been kind of nice, right? Like, you know, they were trying to do all that for that time. One of the theories I heard is the fact that the reason Iris has speed powers is because she was pregnant with the twins at that moment in time, right? But that would have been something interesting, right? At the end of the season, where Iris is like, Barry, I'm pregnant. And then, you know, or even after the little teaser at the end where it's just like, Barry, I'm pregnant. And he's like, we're going to need more diapers. Or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So anyways, those are some of those thoughts that I have, right? It's not really a big thing, but it was just kind of weird that they just threw that in there at the last minute to renew their vows. Like, at least with Crisis on Infinite Earths, they had been trying to plan the wedding forever, and we get this huge crossover fight at the and then it's like, okay, while that was going on, let's just look, we finished the bad guy. Oh, that whole conflict earlier on where we were trying to get married, let's just make this happen right here, right now, and get married and Diggle. Like, that was cool. That was like I didn't have a big problem with it, with Felicity hijacking it, but I was like, okay, at least that's kind of cool that everybody's in the like the most important people of this the Arrowverse can kind of be in this moment together to make it happen. So instead of trying to bring everybody together for that scene, if that makes sense. But this thing was kind of just a little hokey. I'm like, yeah, did you not have anything else to write about? So whatever, though, it's not a big deal. And you know, the fact that like they did a whole thing with the characters leaving, Cisco and Tom, they left, and then they're coming back 3 episodes later. It's like, come on, man. Anyways, that's it. So that's my review on the season finale of The Flash, guys. I hope you enjoyed it over on YouTube. Patreon, you guys have it as well. And full reactions to almost every episode is available on Patreon. And, of course, join me tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, on Twitch, where we're going to have a call-in discussion about The Flash. You know, people wonder why I keep on doing this. I like pain. But as you can see in the comments, people obviously have a lot of opinions about The Flash. So join us for that tomorrow. I'm going to try to get some predominant YouTubers and influencers around the Flash family to join in if they like. So we can call and discuss this, and then try to take some calls from the viewers as well. And that's it. Okay. It's finally over. We can I feel like Thanos, y'all. It nearly killed me, but it's been done. The work has been done. It nearly killed me. I'm about to go to Space Philippines. Just chill. And just breathe, man. We still got Superman and Lois. We got What If coming up. We got some other shows as well. Yes, and now we can sit back and watch the sun rise on a grateful universe. Peace.